the way I swallowed things was incorrect. And that's because when I swallowed, my tongue would push against my bottom teeth. And oh my god, you guys, I feel so guilty. Hey guys, so I was thinking recently about my story with my teeth and my jaws, and I started to remember things that now would seem absolutely crazy, but also kind of cool. So the story of Mary's jaws. Basically, when I was about 5 and 6 years old, one of the doctors, thankfully, one of the dentists said that something is going on with my teeth and I would urgently require to see an orthodontist to figure out what to do with me. They sent me to the best orthodontist in the country, it seems, because I had to go to the capital of the country where I'm from, and she was just considered one of the best ones. Everyone with like bad cases would be sent over to her. So yeah, I was sent over to be seen by an orthodontist, and they said that I have class 3, potentially due to genetics. And yeah, it's true, on my dad's side I have some other people, some of my aunties suffer from underbites, and you know, they never fixed that. I got an expander placed in, not the braces, but an expander that I had to adjust every now and again, which would then push my maxilla forward. Aside from that, I had enormous gaps between my teeth, crazy gaps, especially between my front 2 teeth. So that expander basically had these hooks that I could use to put the rubber bands on. And this is the funny part. At the time, there wasn't any pre-packaged rubber bands of a certain strength there. And what they would ask me to do, they'd ask me to take a pipette, I'm not sure if that's the correct word, but I'll send a picture, and cut out like a little rubber band. And I don't ever remember them saying, they must have said that it must have been a certain size in width. I don't know, I just remember as I was 6 or even 5, I would just cut that pipette at random width, and obviously that would determine how strong it would push my teeth. And that's why there's 2 teeth of mine, not the front 2, but the ones that are next to them, at a really messed up angle now. This is because I was just pushing them with the strength of the rubber bands that wasn't correct, but it did close the gaps in the end, so that's good. So that was one thing. Another thing that they said I had to do is I had to wear a nightcap. That once again wasn't pre-packaged, it wasn't something you could buy. They basically gave us instructions, they gave my mom instructions on how to make it from scratch, how to sew it. And I've asked her recently to send me a picture of that because I think I kept it, but then she said I think they just threw it away. So I'll try to explain to you what it was. They basically said to measure my head, take a very strong cloth, make a thing that fits my head with this thing that would basically keep my jaw under control. It would just push my bottom jaw back and stop it from growing even more. And I'd have to wear it every day for 6-7 years. So obviously it wasn't perfect, because I remember at times it would just, I don't know, rip in places, and it wouldn't hold my bottom jaw as well as it should have, I think. And at times I just didn't care because I was young and stupid, and to a certain degree it definitely helped, and I feel like it's an ingenious thing to be recommending. Maybe they do that these days as well, but it's probably made already, thing that you can buy, and it's more solid and stuff. But the stuff that I had was handmade, DIY'd, and it did the job. I'm sure it did the job, because, you know. The third thing is my orthodontist told me that the way I swallowed things was incorrect. And that's because when I swallowed, my tongue would push against my bottom teeth. So as opposed to swallowing like you're supposed to be swallowing with your tongue going up, with my tongue going up the palate on swallowing, the way I swallowed was helping push my bottom jaw forward, and that was incorrect. So she begged me, I remember she was saying, this is one of the most important things I had to relearn as I grew up, was how to swallow correctly. And it took me a while. It took me so long. I think when I was about 15, from the age of 6 to 15, I think by that time I relearned how to do that. And until this day I remember that the words she said. I think she said the amount of strength that our tongue places during the swallowing process, I think it's 2 kilos or something. So it's huge force that obviously pushes jaws forward and helps with the formation of an underbite or overbite or whatever, you know. It's incorrect, it shouldn't be this way. Last thing that I wanted to say, and this is something that I also never paid attention because I thought it was just one of those things that, you know, pay attention to, but I recently started to. I think I mentioned already, when I go to sleep, when I'm in horizontal position, I can't breathe from my nose. I can, but the amount of oxygen that I'm receiving, I'd say 40% of what I would need to breathe comfortably, my nose feels clogged. It's awful. It doesn't happen when I'm just out and about, you know, like right now it's no problem. It only occurs to me when I'm lying down. And it basically means that I always, like my whole life, I've been sleeping with my mouth open. I just can't otherwise. There's absolutely no way I can get enough oxygen from breathing from my nose when I sleep. On top of that, what I recently noticed about myself is, apart from me keeping my mouth open when I'm lying down, I also push my bottom jaw forward like that, because it feels like when I do that, I get more oxygen, and I do it subconsciously. I don't even realize when I do it, and I've started to catch myself doing it, and I'm like, if you try doing that, when you push your bottom jaw forward, you get more oxygen, your airways open up, and it feels so fucked up to me. It makes absolute sense now, because every single little thing that I'm doing, the incorrect swallowing, mouth breathing, and pushing my bottom jaw forward because my maxilla is underdeveloped and because potentially something is not entirely correct with something in my nose that they'll do septoplasty for. So basically the air deficiency that I get from that, and every little thing combined helped my underbite to form. I thought that was interesting. I thought I would share that, and I know that these days, because they know more about this problem orthodontics have developed, I'm sure there's ways of treating children who show signs of their jaws underdeveloping or overdeveloping, and I'm sure things are different these days. But despite that, because this can also be a genetic thing, I'm sure it is in the majority of cases, we need to be aware of the fact that our kids or our grandkids would be going through that. And now that we know so much about it, and now that we've shared all the knowledge that we are sharing through social media, we ourselves will be so knowledgeable and so prepared to help them when and if it happens to them. I think that's the beauty of sharing this knowledge with everyone. I think that's the beauty of forming and becoming a part of the community dedicated to this subject. If you don't know what's happening here, this is literally the only way of keeping my cats engaged with the bud that we got them for 30 fucking pounds. They're eating it, they're playing with it, they're going nuts at it, all because I've just sprayed it with catnip, so both of them are going nuts at it. They're literally eating it. The good thing about it is that once they're done messing with it, he actually goes to sleep in that bed. So that's a benefit, and he looks absolutely stunning in that bed, and I like the look of that. So I can consider the catnip spray one of the best things I got for my cats. To be frank with you guys, I've never had a cat of a good breed before. All of my cats growing up were just basic. I never actually experienced what it's like to have a cat of a higher hierarchy. It's been a very interesting experience having 3 of them. There's a lot of things that I didn't expect, and those things are very good things. There's been a lot of learnings, a lot of stuff happens. I think we've had them all for 3, 4, 5 months, but I'm going to make a video on that because honestly there's a lot of stuff to share on that front. But this, guys, is the best thing, honestly, absolutely the best thing that happened to me this year. Have you seen it? I got the flowers. This is literally one of the only survivors. This one will soon start. The rose is somewhat dead, and this guy is supposed to be one of those who died. And this blonde seems to be alive and kicking. Hey guys, it's Saturday and I literally just spent a shit ton of time doing the cleaning, and I still need to do even more cleaning, so it's just going to be one of those boring weekends. Eventually go outside, it's raining, but I kind of want to just chill today and rest and not do much. Going into the weekend knowing that I'll most probably get the news about the surgical planning, not the surgical planning, the actual surgery date booked next week, so I have to wait for that to happen. Other than that, nothing new. So I didn't go to the gym yesterday, which means that I haven't been in the gym. I haven't been exercising for 4 days. And oh my god, you guys, I feel so guilty. I feel so guilty. Usually go to the gym in the evening, 2-3 hours after I've had lunch, you know? Now, I literally woke up and I'm like, I'm going to the gym now because I feel so bad. Not just guilty, by the way. Also, I feel all, I don't know, like sloppy. I feel, I don't know how to describe it. I don't feel good. That's the bottom line. So I'm gonna go now.